All right, guys, Ken Blumberg here, bringing you your November 2020 housing report, where we're going to look back at October, the month that was. We're going to give you all the numbers that really matter. However, I'm not going to go into eviction moratoriums, forbearances, and unemployment numbers, as well as shadow unemployment numbers. I'm going to save that for another video. But at the end of this update, I will give you my thoughts on the market and tell you what I think is going to happen as far as price appreciation or depreciation. And that should give you a pretty good idea whether you should buy, sell, or invest in Las Vegas right now. So the statistics that I'm going to bring you today are from the Las Vegas Realtors, their monthly housing update. For simplicity's sake, we're only going to look at single family homes for this video. But if you want more statistics on condos or townhomes, reach out to me, let me know, and I'll provide you with the information that you want to see. Or if you really want that, put it in the comments and request that, and maybe I'll do another video. So the first set of numbers we're going to look at is the number of closings in October. We had 3,225 single family homes that sold, which was slightly down from the month prior by 1.4%. Now that's not surprising, because as we go into the later months of the year, we do typically expect to see less inventory. But what is a little surprising is that number is still a 11.2% increase from last year. And I equate that to two things. Number one is sellers are taking advantage of record sales prices in Las Vegas, and also the ability to sell their home in less time than ever. And then also the fact that the summer selling season kind of got pushed back a little bit because of everybody's fear and anxiety around the current situation that is going on throughout the world, that everybody is afraid of, and that I can't say because possibly my channel will get censored, but you know what I'm talking about. So the next set of numbers we're going to get into is the median closed price. And as you can see, we have a median sales price of $340,200, which is pretty astounding during the current situation. That number is up just slightly from the month prior by 0.9%, and it is up year over year a whopping 10.8%. Now that number is incredible because of the current situation, like I mentioned. It's also incredible because the typical appreciation that homeowners are told to expect is between 3 and 5% a year, which is still more than the target rate for inflation that the government tries to induce year after year. They want 2% inflation. So if goods and services go up 2% a year and your home is going up between 3 and 5% a year, then it definitely makes sense to own a home to build wealth and equity. Now in this case, a 10.8% gain year over year, you would think to yourself you would have to be absolutely crazy not to buy a home. But because things are so out of whack right now, again, we will talk about whether you should buy or sell or invest right now in Las Vegas towards the end of the video. So let's move on. So the next number we're going to take a look at is the number of new listings in October. We had 3,592 new listings, which was down 6.7% from the month prior, which is to be expected going into the later months of the season. The good number was that we were up 1.4% from the year prior, because we desperately need listings right now. There are a ton of buyers in the market coming from New York, California, and a multitude of other places around the country, and we just do not have the inventory to satisfy the demand right now. So the next set of numbers we're going to get into is available homes. excluding an offer. So in October, we had 4,501 homes without an offer, which was down 6.2% from the month prior, which is a little surprising because as you go into the later parts of the year, you suspect there would be less buyers in the market. But in 2020, that is definitely not the case. With the CVP situation going on, buyers are flocking from other parts of the country into Las Vegas, which is driving offers and means there are fewer homes sitting out there that do not have an offer. And just to drive that point home, we are 37.6% down year over year, which is incredible, which just shows that anything that is hitting the market is typically selling very, very quickly. And what's driving that, you ask? Interest rates. Interest rates are at historic all-time lows. You can get into a mortgage for around 2.5% in some cases, which is astounding to me, but that is the current situation. So the government decides to drop interest rates and drive home traffic. And again, we'll get into more of that at the end of the video, but that is one of the things that is driving hyper demand as well as exoduses from some of the cities surrounding Las Vegas. The next number we're going to take a look at is effective months of available inventory. In October, you had 1.4 months of inventory, which was down 4.9% the prior month and was down a whopping 43.9% from the year prior. Now, this is the lowest I've ever seen inventory in my 15 years of selling real estate. So again, even though we have a current situation going on, which is very uncomfortable for many people, there are so many buyers coming to Las Vegas that all the homes that are for sale are being absorbed very, very quickly. The other thing I want to mention, just to give you some perspective, when we say it is an equal market between buyers and sellers, you're talking about a 6-month supply. So that means that no one has the upper hand per se in a negotiation. But at 1.4% of inventory, that is solidly in seller's territory where they have a complete advantage and they can many times demand terms, they can get rent backs, they can choose who they want to sell the home to if that is important to them, and it puts them in a fantastic position if they are looking to sell with this current very, very low inventory. The next statistic we're going to look at is time on market, 30 days or less. As you can see, 70.3% of homes sold in 30 days or less in October. That was up from 69% the month prior, and it was also up significantly from last year, where we had 52.6% of homes selling in less than 30 days. And again, this is kind of a call to all sellers. If you're in the market to sell anyway, this is the perfect time to get your home sold. If it's in perfect condition, it's going to sell at the top of the market really, really quickly, which means you're going to have very few showings and you're going to probably open your home up for the weekend and possibly a week, and then you're going to have multiple offers to choose from. Now, if your home is not in great condition, if you back up to a busy street, if your home is cluttered, if your home has not been maintained properly, if it's outdated, those homes are also selling really quickly. So it's a fantastic time. If you're thinking about making a move, this is a perfect opportunity to get your home sold in very, very little time. So there you have it, the numbers from the Las Vegas Realtors housing report. Now, I'm not going to get into all the statistics on forbearance and the shadow unemployment numbers that you really need to know about, but I will get into that in another video. But I do want to quickly talk about unemployment. right now, currently, we're number 2 in the nation. We're sitting at about 12.6%. And these numbers are very close to what we were looking at in the Great Recession. And of course, they are down from around 30% at the height of the current situation. But with the current situation apparently getting worse and more lockdowns that are seemingly inevitable, I do anticipate those unemployment numbers will probably increase and get worse moving forward before they start improving. Now, we have a few other crises on the way that I think we're going to have to face down for the most part next year, which is the eviction moratoriums. Landlords have not been able to evict their tenants for non-payment, assuming that they're telling the landlord that it is a pandemic issue. So we're going to have to deal with that. And then we also have forbearance crisis that we're going to be facing. So as many of you might know, forbearance was offered for government-backed loans for 6 months with an additional ability to add another 6 months onto that forbearance period. So that is a real problem. So my quick prediction of what's going to happen in the Las Vegas market, I think possibly we're going to take a dip mid next year during the summer and possibly even later. So we have two opposing forces. We have very low interest rates, which is driving home demand. And then we also have buyers coming from many other states around the country looking for more affordable housing. And many of them probably don't even care about getting a job here in Las Vegas because they are going to telecommute or work via Zoom or work out of their homes. So we have that force driving prices up, but we also have huge unemployment and we have many tenants that are not paying their rent. So my personal feeling is in the short term, we are going to have a price correction and prices are going to come down. I anticipate that's going to happen sometime mid to the end of next year, and maybe for possibly a year and a half. But I do think at some point, I mean, obviously timeframes are very hard to predict, but I do feel at some point that once those casino workers and struggling tenants, once we get those homes off the market, that the new buyers will come in and they will continue to come to Las Vegas, and then prices will eventually go up. So if you're looking to buy a home for the long term, I think right now is still probably a pretty good time to buy. If you're just looking to invest, I would say you might want to hold off. Of course, do your own research. If you're looking to sell, I think it's more than likely a fantastic time. We have very low inventory. We have super high demand from buyers coming into Las Vegas. However, I will give you this one caveat. If somehow they reduce the interest rates further or put more money into the economy, as probably a lot of people know, they're printing billions of dollars. So if that devalues our currency, it is still conceivable that we have a blow off top and home prices increase very quickly. I don't foresee that for next year, but it is definitely a possibility. However, that is what I see for the Las Vegas market right now. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Give me a like if you liked the video. Subscribe for more content. I wanted to wait till the end of the video to ask you for that, because if you hung around this long, obviously you saw some value here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.